Welcome back to Open. Our next guest is here to tell us about what is happening at the Hutch Metro Center and the positive transformations and developments taking place in our community. Here now to tell us more is the president and COO of the Hutchinson Metro Center, Joseph Kelleher, and we welcome you to the show. Joe, good to have you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good. Exciting time for you guys, huh?
Very exciting.
So when you talk about the Hutch Metro Center, I remember when it was just a shell. And it was just really being built. A lot of people were wondering, like, what is going to happen here? Years later, dynamic development, community involvement, and you got to be proud of what's going on there.
We truly are. You know, back in 2001, we had a vision. The Simone Group kind of looked at the Bronx saying, you know, we're under-officed here. We didn't have really Class A office space in the Bronx, especially not an office park, which is what we are. We're basically a suburban office park within the city of New York, which we're the only one that exists in the 5 boroughs. So it's kind of special. When we first, started to build the Hutch Metro Center, we looked at, who was going to be our potential tenants. And we certainly have a college that came on board there that has their Bronx campus. The Visiting Nurse Services in New York actually wanted to consolidate all of their nursing facilities into one central location. So that was our start. Mm-hmm. And then from there, we realized that we were surrounded by hospitals, be it Montefiore, Calvary, Jacobi, and Einstein Medical Center. So we went out and advertised to all of the local physicians who were servicing the community that we wanted to start a medical pavilion at our first building. And when at our very first meeting, we had several doctors who were very interested in leasing space there. And within a year and a half, we were fully leased with physicians that were now seeing patients at the Hutchinson Metro Center. In addition to that, we had the New York City Housing Authority was looking to consolidate their offices, so they took a large block of space in our original building, as did the Administration of Children's Services.
So pretty easy in terms of getting the vacancies filled up, or was it a complex?
I think I wouldn't call it easy, but because I think we had to create an awareness. First of all, when you think about the Bronx at that time, people didn't realize that there was anything really going on in the Bronx in terms of economic development, especially commercial office buildings. Mm-hmm. So when we built this, we had to get the message out that the Hutchinson Metro Center was a place that was open for business. And we were able to do that. It took some time to get momentum, but once we started to create an awareness, then the real demand started to open up. And subsequently, as we look at it today, our first building was 500,000 square feet. Today we have 1.4 million square feet of office space that's built at the Hutchinson Metro Center, including a Tower 1. We have Montefiore is opening the first bedless hospital, which is really an outpatient ambulatory surgery center, but they call it a bedless hospital because basically it is a hospital without beds. Mm-hmm. So you can come in there for all types of procedures, and basically you go home. No beds. Yeah. So that will be open on seeing patients as soon as November now. So that's exciting. In addition to that, on our site, we had a bakery. It was called Old London Foods. If you ever had Melba toast, that's where it was made. And that bakery actually moved down to North Carolina. When they did that, basically we looked at that building and said, what are we going to do with this property? We could either lease it to some type of industrial use or maybe another bakery of some sort of use. But we looked at it and said, we want to repurpose this building. We want to turn it into a Class A office building. And that's exactly what we did. We took a 200,000 square foot property and converted into a 370,000 square foot Class A office building, which happens to include, now by the way, it is fully leased, and we just opened the building. So that shows you the pent-up demand.
Absolutely. Give me a little bit about the Hutchinson River Parkway, though, because you got the Hutchinson River Parkway right there. The infrastructure along the Hutchinson River Parkway has long been in question. Wanted to see a lot of improvements and stuff, but now we're starting to see some improvements along there.
Absolutely. Well, I think there's a lot more to be done. City planning under the Bloomberg administration started a study of the Hutchinson River Parkway from Co-op City to the Whitestone Bridge. Now, why are they focusing on that area? Because you have, and I know the Bronx Borough president has been on this show, I've seen his broadcast, it's fantastic, talking about the Macy's that's opening up. You're going to have 1.2 million square feet of indoor mall at the Bay Plaza, the largest indoor mall in the city of New York. How do they get on and off the Hutchinson River Parkway to have access and to 95? So those things have been looked at and studied by city planning. You have the Hutchinson Metro Center, which, including the 911 call center, which is also part of our complex, which actually brings our square footage up over 2 million square feet, will be open in 2016. You need to bring ramps to get on and in and out of these complexes because the local streets can't handle the traffic. A little south of us, there's a talk about this Woodbury Commons. I call it the outlet center type of set up by the Whitestone Cinema, which is still in the works. But a little south of that, our company has just opened a Target shopping center. So we have 300,000 square foot of stores. And you have to be able to get on and off those ramps from those highways so you're not driving through people's neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. And this is what city planning is looking at right now and coming up with solutions as how we can improve that infrastructure. Not to mention Donald Trump's golf course.
We didn't get there. We didn't talk about his golf course coming up. So with all these new developments in the Northeast Bronx, what do you think this means for residents of the Bronx, given the fact that you're able to have these fully leased buildings and bringing different kinds of business and organizations to to the Hutchinson Metro Center? What do you say this means for the borough?
Okay, let me just go back to the atrium building, which I mentioned earlier, 370,000 square foot building. It ties into what you're just asking. That's going to be the Bronx first Marriott hotel in this borough. It'll be a Class A hotel, Residence Inn, open in November. LA Fitness just opened a 50,000 square foot facility there, which is probably the largest facility in the Bronx. It's spectacular. We are now, Applebee's is opening a location. There's going to be restaurants there. The people in the Bronx are going to benefit big time from all of this economic development, from the fact that there will be now additional retail in the Bronx. People are now shopping in Yonkers and in Westchester when they need things. They'll be able to go into their own neighborhood right there and satisfy their needs of shopping in that area. You're talking about the bedless hospital at Montefiore. Montefiore is expanding tremendously in the Bronx. We will be able to provide Class A medical coverage and health care for all those people that live in that particular area.
Mm-hmm. And before I get you out of here, because we almost out of time on this segment, I want to ask you about the Boy Scouts of America program.
Listen, I've been involved with the Boy Scouts of America for 3 years now. I'm the president of the Bronx Council. We have 1,500 Boy Scouts. Very proud to be part of the organization. We've been working with different organizations to try to support the Scouts. The Yankees just gave us an Eagle Scout Recognition Day, which we were on the field the other day being recognized. And I always say with the Boy Scouts, there's a lot of activities for youth out there, but when you could teach children to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent, that's not a bad thing.
That's right. That's right. And I used to be a Boy Scout. I remember some of that. Okay. When you started going, I dropped off somewhere around the halfway point. But I know it ended with being reverent. So yes. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. For people who want more information about the Hutch Metro Center and Hutch Management, how do they find out?
Well, they can certainly contact me directly at the Hutchinson Metro Center at 718-518-8600, or go to our website at Hutchinson Metro Center. And my contact information happens to be there.
All righty. Joseph Kelleher, our guest here on opening up a little bit about the Hutch Metro Center. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All righty. Taking a quick break, but when we return, going to find out how you can take advantage of all that BronxWorks has to offer. We'll tell you exactly how you can do that after this segment. Stay with us. We're coming right back in a minute.